Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of a Holy Rush Revival. We're going to exclusively do this video tonight on putting seats in a CJ5. Not just any CJ5, it's an early CJ5. This is a 1973 Jeep CJ5. And she needs seats. Look, they may look good right there. But when I lift this, there's a whole multitude of sins. There's plenty of duct tape on here, and that one is nothing but duct tape under the seat cover. So these old seats have had it. They're cracked. They're terrible. The springs are broken underneath, so we're just going to get ourselves rid of that. But if you have an early CJ5, you know that parts are really consistent from the 76 to, I don't know, what is it, 83, somewhere that it went through. Anyway, the later CJ5 models, you can just open a catalog and pretty much pick a part. For the early CJ models, like this 73 up through about 75, parts aren't as plentiful. It's based on the platform of the old CJs, and the seats are not consistent. Well, they're consistently old, not a modern style of seat. This seat on this side was designed to flip up because there's a toolbox underneath. I can't really flip it up now. I actually have taken the seat off, and I'm going to show you why here in a second.
Okay, y'all, sorry for the sudden splice, but I thought I would, it's the next morning, by the way. I thought I would bring you up to the CJ2A and let you see the style of seat that's in it, and you'll see that it's very similar to what we were working on last night. Even though it's a little bit different, it's the basic concept is the same. The frame is very similar. As you can see, it's got the toolbox underneath as well. But plywood, that's basically how that is bolted on, and then this seat cushion, excuse us dirty, the dog has been riding over here. Gotta wash that. It's terrible. I'm sorry to show you that. But anyway, I haven't completely 100% finished this seat up, so it gives you an idea of how the old CJ seat used to be. Wouldn't you agree that that other seat is more comfortable than this? I mean, basically, it's a piece of plywood and a piece of foam, you know, with a foam cover. Anyway, that gives you a better idea of how the old CJs worked. Once they got to 1976, and then they went to a whole complete different design with seat sliders and everything else. So that's just a modern convenience that is not in the very early CJ5. It's old, like this right here. So there you go.
It was an older, shorter style seat, but I want to be comfortable. I want some support for my neck, so I have purchased some Smitty built seats, and I think maybe these are Smitty built seats that were in there. And it would have been easy just to bolt these out and bolt the others right in, but we can't do that, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Some of this welding that was done to fabricate the seat brackets for these seats is not good. And look, my beautiful wife is going to be sitting over here on a trail ride coming up, and I want her to be safe. Don't want that seat to be sketchy, because I'll dump every Jeep off in the gully if it meant that my wife was going to be hurt or harmed in some way, and I put her in danger. And I'm just not going to do that, because I love her with all of my heart. And I'll show you why here in just a second. But a fella just had to do a little nosing around to see what he was getting into, and that's why I went on ahead and basically unbolted the seat off the frame, and boy did I find a surprise. Let me lift this up and off. But before I do, notice that this seat sits about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches higher than that seat, and that kind of drives me crazy. That seat is sitting at the right height, but this one, you kind of feel like your head is almost up in the soft top, so we're going to fix that. Okay. let me grab you and bring you over here and show you what's going on.
Well, y'all, here's what's going on. You've got a hodgepodge of two different styles here. The frame, this is the original frame that rotates up. Remember I told you it rotates up to get to that toolbox underneath? But look, that frame even itself is bent, broken. So that's not good. The brackets for the more modern seat are just basically tack welded. Look, there's a tack weld there, a tack weld there. There's not even a solid weld other than just a tack weld on the side of that one. And I'm sure it's the same way over here. Look, there's one tack weld right there. I would not feel safe riding around in that scenario. That's terrible. Again, I love my wife. I love her more than that right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a few minutes cutting all of this stuff off, all of the more modern stuff, and I'm going to fix this frame. We've got to weld that back up and get the seat frame sitting in there nice. And then I'm just going to build a square frame to drill holes in for the seat. And if I get rid of all of this, that's going to lower the seat down about 2 inches. See, the seat's sitting way up here on these brackets, and I'm going to lower it down 2 inches. There's really no need for the passenger seat to have to slide up and back. I mean, why? Why would you even want to do that? What I'm going to do is get the seat platform built, weld it to this, to the point to where the back of the seat is just touching this right here, where it's as far back as it can go, because you want all the leg room that you can get down there. So, guy's going to take a minute, cut out all of this mess, probably chunk all of that, and start over. Okay, y'all. For about 30 minutes, I've been grinding and chewing away, getting off all the old stuff that was on there from the later model CJ. So this gives you a better idea of what the actual early CJ seat frame looks like and how it functions. So it's very easy actually to take this seat out. You just have to lean it up and then pull, and it'll come right out. Now let's put it back in. Now, you might say, well, that doesn't look real safe. Well, yeah, you're right. These old things were utilitarian, but there is a way to hold the seat in place. This bracket right here has a bolt that is supposed to run out and hold the seat from coming up. And I think this bolt is supposed to have a wing nut on it where you can reach back there and turn that bolt out. But I'll guarantee you, that bolt has not been turned in, I don't know, ages. Long time. Maybe since I was born. I don't know. But eventually I'm going to take this out, chase that thread with a tap, and make it to where I can fasten that seat down and it will not come back out. So there you go. There's an early CJ5 seat frame. I've gotten it back down to the original equipment. Now I'm going to start scratching my head about how to build a frame, do some measuring for the bolt holes for the seat, and figure out how to make a frame to go down in here to weld in and secure the seat. Okay, y'all, I have this crazy idea. Apparently, these are Smitty built seats because the frames, the brackets, everything look identical to the seats that I have. I could go in my scrap pile and find this piece of metal to weld in, but these holes already line up with the seats that I have. So why can't I just cut these bars out on both sides and weld them to that frame? Do you see any reason why I can't do that? I don't know. I'm gonna scratch my head on that in just a minute. I will not use these seats again. I mean, they're horrible. They're just going away. So might as well get a little use out of them. I don't know. Let me do a little cutting and see what happens. All right, so I cut these brackets out of the old seats, and they had some nuts on there. There's actually some nuts on these seats that you can screw the bolts into. So I ground out those nuts so I'd have open holes. But as you can see, there's 2 holes there. There's 2 holes there. Same way up here. So that tells me again that these are Smitty built seat brackets. So my idea is to bolt these brackets on, set this seat on the frame in there, tack weld it in place, and weld her up good, and then bolt the seat in. What do you think? Do you think that'll work? I don't know. Let's just keep on going here. Let me put the camera down and bolt these bolts in these brackets, and let's go from there. All right, there they are, bolted in. Let me go get the bracket and set it on here and see how that's going to line up. Well, I don't know, y'all. I just have this bracket sitting on there, and it looks like the bracket is catching the edge of both of these brackets that I put on there. I wonder if that wouldn't work. I mean, I'm talking about weld that dude up really good all the way down through there and over here as well. And I would need to make sure to put the bracket in such a manner where I could get the bolts in the seats. I think the next thing I need to do is set the bracket back in the Jeep, turn the seat over, and see about where the seat lines up according to the wheel well. This just might work. Well, y'all, I think I like it. I can already tell it's sitting lower than the other seat was, even though it looks to be a little higher still. But I just think the rest on the back of the seat is a little higher. It looks like the bottom where you sit is pretty level with the other seat over there. But I can't really judge it based on the old seat versus the new. But I don't know. I think I'm going to get up under here and with the flashlight and do a little looking. I want to make sure that it's just barely touching right there. I'm not upset about that. It looks beautiful, actually. And I kind of like having all that old mechanism out from under there. Just looks a lot cleaner from right here for sure. All right, y'all. I'll be back with you in a minute. Let me check it out. Okay, I've got the early CJ frame tacked onto those pieces of metal that I cut off. So let's set it in the old CJ and see how she lines up. It looks straight. It just is barely touching back here. Goodness, I don't know. I guess it's one of those moments. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Good thing this isn't live. Even the seat rotates up like it's supposed to, and can I still access the toolbox? Let's just see. Yes, we can. By the way, I got my winch controller in there and a D-ring for, helping a fella get unstuck. All this has got to be cleaned up and rust-proofed. But, I don't see any reason why I can't pull that seat off and just weld the mess out of those brackets. Do I dare sit in it and see how it feels? Yeah, let me do it. Oh yeah, y'all. That feels good, and Kip thinks I'm about to go riding, and he is trying his dead level best to get in here. I still feel like, I don't know, kind of hitting up here a little bit. I don't know how to go any lower though. Okay, he made it. He made it. He made it. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, Kip, but we're not going riding. We're just not. Sorry. Uh-oh. I think I just broke one of my tack welds. It's your fault. Kip, you got in here and made it too heavy. Doggone it. Doggone it. Get it? Doggone it. Doggone it. Need to be doggone. Okay, let me get this thing out and weld her up. Here's one more look at the bracket before I put it in the Jeep. I welded the snot out of it. It really just welded 3 beads there, but on the top side, I welded it solid all the way down that bar. Same way on this side, so I feel a whole lot better about how that is fastened onto that frame versus all of that old nasty mechanism that was on there. And I know the intention was well to actually be able to slide the seat farther than backwards, but with all the rust and it being bent, that just wasn't going to work. Okay, let me pick this thing up and put it in the Jeep for the final time and see how she fits. Let's get the old guy up in here and see how the seat fits. And I know Kip is going to get in there with me when I go, aren't you? Go ahead and get in there. Go ahead, load up, load up. He's learning, he's learning. And you go to the back. You need to learn to go to the back. Get back there, get back. Oh, he just wants to be by me. Move, move. He's still got a whole lot of puppy in him, y'all. Get out of my seat. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, well, you deserve a little petting, I guess. We got a lot to learn, folks. I've only had the old dude about 3 weeks, but he's growing to be a big dog. This is going to be a big old dog. And he is. He's got all kind of play in him. Goodness. There, you can't wear a blue heeler down. They have more energy than... Come, get down. Get out of here. Okay. He's gonna get right back in. So anyway, y'all, sorry about that. I like it. I like it. It feels good. The old grabo handle there is in the right place. I think it's perfect. And you know what? I think I'm going to end the video here because I've been inspecting the seat over here and it's got that mechanism in it like I showed you, and I'm just going to do a bolt-in situation over here. I do hope that the mechanism still works over there, so if my wife is driving, she can let the seat up a little bit, but I'm probably going to have to do a lot of work on it to grease it up and get it going again. But you know, I think we're in a good place here. We are. It's midnight 30 actually. It took me about, I don't know, 2 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours to do this project here, all total. And you may say I cheated by using the brackets from the old seat, but all I did was save myself about 30 minutes of fabrication time, honestly, because that's just about 1.5 inch flat bar with some holes drilled in it, and you can very easily make those if you don't have the old seats to cut those out of. Okay, get your tail up here. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for humoring me in this episode of putting the seat in the old CJ5, but I hope you actually learned something from this, because it's tricky putting a seat in a early 71 to 75 Jeep CJ5. There just aren't many options out there, and I hope that showed you that you can very easily adapt one of these seats to go in. Okay, God bless y'all. Take care. Don't know what the next project's gonna be on the Jeep. Probably gonna take all this back out and start welding up floorboards down there. Something got a chicken last night, and he is on the alert for whatever's getting in our chicken pen, and I hope he scares off the varmints. That's our main reason for having a blue heeler like this around, is to take care of our chickens and our animals. All right, bye. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah.
I want to enjoy the seat a minute. Let me just enjoy it. There. Okay, it's not moving around. Feels solid. That's the way it's supposed to feel. Okay, jumping out is easy. That's good. That's good. It just worked real well. That worked very well.